So, welcome to the driving podcast in the Ferrari this time, because we're on the way up to Pebble Beach. The GT is currently in the shop being worked on, and this is what we got. Hopefully the engine noise won't be too loud, because this has naturally aspirated V8 that revs very, very high and very, very loud. Sounds great, but we'll see for the sake of the podcast how that is. Here, just a little taste real quick. Hold on, why don't we do this? And we'll just kick down a couple gears. There you go. Anyway, maybe you heard a little bit of that. It sounds delightful. We're trailing another, we're part of a rally, so we're trailing some other cars going up to Pebble Beach right now, and thought it would make for a good time to do a podcast. So Nick, so good to have you.
You know what I find sickening?
What?
You'll roll down that window to hear the car sounds, but you won't roll down the window when you fart.
You're just starting it off with a roast, right?
I mean, this is your policy apparently. You just fart in a sealed car.
Well, that was because the AC was running and I didn't want to leak in the hot air from the outside. When you roll down the back window, that's not going to do much for the sake of ventilation for a fart, right? Because the aerodynamics won't let that much air go out that way. It's just when you have the air flowing in from the sides and you open the side windows, then that'll do something. But we don't want to leak out all this.
You're really worried about the hot air from the outside, and I'm worried about the hot air from the inside coming from your ass.
The inside of me.
Yes. It's it's inside here, and I don't want to breathe it.
Whatever. So how are you feeling so far? Are the seats comfortable? It's a good long-range car.
It's better than Spirit Airlines. I think I said that earlier.
You did.
Yeah, but that's
okay.
not hard to beat.
You didn't say it to them.
That's not hard to beat. Spirit Airlines, work on yourself.
Though, just being cooped up in a metal cockpit with 150 other people is never particularly
fun. The cockpit?
Yeah.
100 people, 50 people in a cockpit.
That'd be a tough thing to do, but inside a metal tube is what I meant to say.
Just like driving from the passenger seat, but to the pilot, be like, no, push that button. Yeah. No, that one over there.
That would be, I don't think the plane would ever actually either make it off the ground, or if it happened after you were in the air, it wouldn't make it back. So, I think they shut off like part of the freeway, or is this how the freeway is?
Yeah, we're on some weird, I don't know.
This is the 101. We're heading north on the scenic 101 route, except I guess it's just one lane in each direction. I didn't realize that.
Is it scenic?
It's been scenic.
This part right here is maybe not the most scenic.
What if I told you that I had to fart again?
Oh my God. This is the worst podcast of all time.
Here's the thing. We had to get up really, really early. It throws off my digestion when we have to go on a road trip, but I don't get time to go to the bathroom.
Oh my God, you did it! This is what we have to do. I don't care about the sound quality. I don't care. Welcome back to another fart ASMR video. Why did you do this?
I didn't mean to.
Why did you do this?
It wasn't the goal going into this.
Sorry. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me. Why did you do this?
What do you mean, why did you do this?
Why am I in this car with you? Being exposed to your... It's like a spirit just leaving a body. Leaving your body. Are you alive?
I believe so. I mean, if I died, it'd be really bad news for you right now, actually, given our current position.
Hey, at least this car can drive automatic.
It can, yeah. In the event of a worst-case scenario, you can hit that button right there. It does auto, and then it'll have the gears doing things on their own. But at the same time, you're in the passenger seat, which just isn't going to be...
I'll just reach my foot over and hold it over here.
Oh, this is now, very nice and open and freshly
now
made.
It's a little better.
It's delightful. So anyway, we were talking about fitting 50 people inside of a cockpit. And so you just did the Extra Life thing in...
I did.
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh of Pennsylvania.
How much did you raise with that?
The total, as a team, we did, I think it was like 26,000. Our goal was 25, so we hit our goal.
Was it full 24 hours?
It was not full 24 hours. The first day it was from...
you broke it into 2 sections.
6 p.m. to 3 a.m. and the second day it was from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m.-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did it actually, we hit our goal in record time.
Nice.
We did it usually it's been 3 days and it's been a lot longer, but we did it. And if anybody doesn't know Extra Life, it's a charity where you raise money for children's hospitals, and all you do is play video games.
It's pretty cool.
For
yeah,
long
Extra
amounts
Life.
of time.
So Extra Life then they fund Children's Miracle Network, which is a whole bunch of hospitals that help sick children. It's cool. And so I just realized I should probably give some context just in case people don't recognize you. Yeah. So,
on this channel especially.
Right.
Wait, yes, this is going on the vlog channel.
On the vlog channel.
Yes.
So
I'm probably just like this weirdo that's been scared of farts this entire time and nobody knows who I am.
They're like, Nick. Why do we care about this random Nick? So Nick, well, we started playing games probably 8 years ago at this point.
It's been a while.
A little over 8 years ago.
I think we were seniors in high school still.
Yep. And it was like you, me, Mark, and Adam. Kind of that
Well,
group.
we all met each other.
Through Adam.
Through Adam.
Yep.
Not only that, I don't know if you remember this, but it was through an open lobby.
You and Mark was an open lobby.
Open lobby on Skate 3, both me and All Sham No Wow Mark. That's his name, All Sham No Wow Mark.
All Sham
one
No
word.
Wow. It's on his
Mark.
birth certificate that way.
But yeah, both me and Mark, you had known Adam before that.
Yeah.
But Mark and I, that was our first time meeting, and we just glued.
And Adam is Anners, another YouTuber who, if you follow gaming, you're probably aware of. But if you don't follow gaming, then, well, he's another YouTuber. Although he doesn't make as many videos anymore.
He's still out in the world.
He exists. He hasn't died, for anyone who's concerned about that. He's still alive.
He could make his comeback. You never know. Next year, maybe he'll just be on his channel and be like, insane double upload today, you guys. Triple upload.
Maybe. I mean, that could be his new YouTube meta after
I'm not promising anything. That's not.
He drives and tours the country, you know?
What a life.
Anyway, so we've been playing games for a long time, and then, how long ago was it? Like 5 years?
5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago in May.
Brought you on to be editing the videos, which initially was only on one channel. Now it's spread out a little bit.
6?
So you
now you have 6 channels.
You do the podcasts here on this channel.
I do. I've edited the podcasts.
So if anything goes wrong, blame him.
Well, there's not really that much that goes wrong. It's just, I would say if I do cut anything out of the podcast, it's maybe like 1% of the podcast. I leave most of it intact because it's just conversations. I think that's what people want to listen to.
That's what podcasts are generally uncut.
Yeah. Sometimes things get discussed though, so that maybe
disgusting like farts.
Yes, that I might cut that out.
Are you?
No, I won't.
Are you gonna save face
no,
for me?
No, I won't. I won't. The farts will be in. People will know what kind of a person you are.
Wherever we're at right now, it will have been decided when people are watching this right here. So they might be confused. What about the fart?
No, the fart will be there.
The fart will have been there.
The fart will be there. The people deserve to know. This is the people this is the person you subscribe to, everybody. He farts in a car when somebody else is in there.
During a podcast.
During a podcast that he knows people are going to watch.
It makes for content.
You are literally making fart content.
I'm sure there is an ASMR fart channel that exists out there.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, you've already looked into this, huh?
No, I haven't seen that specifically, but on maybe an adult website, that is a specific subcategory.
Oh, it's a whole subcategory?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, people love it. Not
really?
Me people, but people.
That's
just
other
people.
I mean, there are a bunch of niches out there.
There's everything.
That there is. There's something out there on the internet for every different interest of yours.
How did we get on this from talking about
I know. I was about to guide us back to where we needed to be, which was, so you now edit on the main channel, which I don't know when this is going to go up, if the videos are back up on the main channel. They probably are going up again with the gaming stuff, so you're doing that. You'll do the podcast over here. You do the music channel. You screen the email submissions in there. You'll send them to me.
Also, anybody that's ever sent me an email submission, they're like, hey, Jordan.
It's not me.
It's me.
It's Nick.
I never address it. I just like, hey there, what's up?
It's fine. It doesn't really make a difference either way. Unless you decide to be an ass in response, and then it reflects negatively because they think it's me.
No.
So, if you make music, though, you can submit it, and then maybe Nick will listen to it. Actually, Nick will listen to it.
I will listen to it.
And he will screen it, and then maybe I will listen to it, and then maybe it'll make the channel. That's the whole workflow for that one. In any case, though, and you should go to Marin Music, shameless plug, if you haven't, because it's good music. You like the music as well, right?
I do like the music. I do like the music.
It's been quality submissions. Any of you out there who are musicians who've submitted to it, you've been doing a good job, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so that's your background. We have known each other for 8 years, working together for about 5, and that's that. So, cars. What's your car history? Let's do that first.
My car history is like as far as what I've driven.
Yeah.
So in high school, I drove a Trailblazer. I think you know the story of the Trailblazer.
Yes.
The fateful ending of the Trailblazer.
I do, yeah.
I think it was like 2004. No, maybe like, no, it might have been like 2005. It doesn't really matter. I was leaving high school one day and I didn't have my parking pass on, and so I was checking around looking while I was driving like a big old dum-dum. And then I rear-ended a car and it totaled my Trailblazer. A Trailblazer, which is an SUV, and the car that I rear-ended was a Geo Prism.
So like a third of the size.
Yes, and also a car that I have to assume is made out of paper mache, or just random scraps of materials, like a Geo Prism. Granted, the Geo Prism's trunk, it was
done.
It was gone.
Wait,
It didn't even have a trunk.
Was it totaled? Both were totaled?
I don't know about that car. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened to that car.
Okay.
I remember being very embarrassed about that.
Yeah, I would be embarrassed too. We were actually just talking about it, speaking of being embarrassed after an accident.
Yeah.
This will be in a separate video in more detail, although we don't show it just out of respect to the driver. But on this rally, someone just flipped their Corvette, like just done. I think it could be totaled. Not sure, but yeah, we were saying. Fortunately, they're okay.
Yes.
So no issues there. I did just have to fart again, so just prepare yourself. Just wanted to give you a heads up in that regard.
Yep.
Anyway,
I'm breathing in your poop particles.
that's one way to put it.
That is scientifically accurate.
All right, Neil deGrasse Tyson. So anyway, it was like if you crash in front of a group of other drivers,
enthusiasts.
Yeah, like as long as you're okay. The worst injury though is going to be a bruised ego, because you're like,
yes.
Oh God, that just makes me look not saying that. If the driver of the Corvette watches this, that's not what we're saying at all. We empathize. I empathize.
For all the nerds out there, even though this is the car channel, so I feel like most car people already understand. It's like when you're trying to clutch in Fortnite and all your boys are watching, and you just can't, and you forget what your keybinds are.
Your heart gets pounding and it just makes you totally uncoordinated. I know the feeling. But usually that's only when I'm playing solo.
Oh yeah, I get that still. I get the little heart fluttering.
If it's in squads, don't really care. For some reason,
That's
I
true.
have no pressure.
It's less. There's less at stake.
So anyway, it's I get the embarrassment though. I was embarrassed when I had to pull off to the side of the freeway last week in the GT. I was
Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, well, he must not know how to operate his car.
I guess if you're thinking about other people's assumptions.
Yeah, people are gonna say don't be so self-conscious. You shouldn't worry what other people think. But
when there's people just passing you, and
when
you
people have their phones out looking at you, like as they're passing by and they're slowing down, creating a traffic jam, like.
That doesn't
it's
make
a
that's
little.
not good.
So you're like, oh, let me hide my face. I was just like purposely turning my head just a little bit, trying to shade my face from the sun, just so that people weren't seeing me. No, it's a very distinct car. It's basically like a fingerprint at this point.
Yeah,
I think anonymity.
You've got like a very distinct Hot Wheel.
Pretty much.
Hot Wheels, I guess.
4 of them, 4 wheels.
Yes.
So that was a bump right there, dude.
Real
a little
bump.
So total the Trailblazer. Praiser Trails.
And then after that, I had that was a 2004 Impala, and I drove that until 2.5 years ago, until you gave me the Honda Fit, which you can go watch the video of me getting the Honda Fit.
That is a YouTube
It's
video.
on the Captain Sparkles channel.
Yes, it is. Not on this
It's
channel.
just called giving Nick a Honda a new car or something.
like that. Yeah, I mean that would have been content had I had this channel at that point that would have gone up here, but instead
a video where I had no idea what was going on.
God damn it! You didn't even realize after I gave you the key. You thought I wanted you to move the car.
No,
or
I
something.
thought because you said the setup was you had me come over because we were going to do a challenge,
which we did end up doing.
Yes, it was a soda challenge, and I thought you meant the sodas were in the car. So I was like, oh, unlock the car and go get out of the trunk. Oh yeah, I could do that. My thing is though,
but it was like why would I be telling you to do that when we're both in the garage?
I don't know. I couldn't think of it. But the idea of it being a different car did not even pass my mind.
You thought that I was just showing off that I bought the car that you wanted.
Well, first there was a lot of confusion because at first I thought it was a Prius, which that actually now with your history of just Priuses doesn't make a lot of sense. So at first I thought it was a Prius, and then I was like, oh, Jordan has a new car. He gets a new car every few months, basically, it seems at this point. At least, well, once a year.
No, once a year.
Once a year, new car. So it's like, whatever. He got a new daily driver, whatever. Something to replace the Fiat. So yeah, then I was like, yeah.
And then I handed you the key, and you still didn't know what to do with it.
It was like that GIF of the equations in front of their face, but it was like slowed down to 0.25, where it's like it's trying to figure out everything. It's like wait. Oh, it makes sense now. It took a while. It took a while to get there.
I'll admit, it wasn't quite the reation that I was envisioning from the get-go.
You were hoping for like an immediate like, oh yes.
Yeah, something like that. But it's okay. In the end, it worked out, and I think it made for a good video regardless. So, how have you been enjoying the Fit? This is like me looking for positive reviews here.
The Fit is my favorite car that I've ever had of the 3 that I've ever had, which is not like a huge sample size, but...
And just to be sure, this is not you saying it just because we're sat in the car together.
No, I love my Honda Fit. It gets great gas mileage. I put $25 into that thing, and I get like 300 miles out of it.
Not bad.
Yeah, I just fill up the tank, and I've driven up to San Francisco. It's nothing. I can fit people in my car. It's tiny. I can parallel park it.
What is the mileage on it?
I think I averaged around like 36, 37 on what I do like on the little dash thing.
Okay.
But that's like an average
really
between like freeway and street or whatever, city. Yeah, that's great mileage compared to, it's like 10 more miles to the gallon than the Impala. So I'm happy with it, you know. Also,
sorry, I was getting distracted. Someone was like waving me over into the other lane, and I'm like, I don't understand what I do. What I do wrong? Why do I have to be waved over into this lane? Well, sorry, we have rally logistics going on in the background right now. So we're trying to follow these other cars, and they were waving. I don't know what was going on with that. I'm like, I think I'm okay to be in this lane. It is a public freeway, but...
I think I'm the first person on this podcast that qualifies as not a car person.
Not so much.
In the traditional sense. Like
Markiplier wasn't really a car person.
He knew about, had interest in cars and like technology around cars.
Sure.
So he had that perspective.
Right,
but I'm not like on top of cool cars at all.
No, but what I was saying is that everyone in their life, for the most part, there are exceptions, but probably if you're watching this on a piece of technology, you experience cars in day-to-day life, and so there is some sort of common experience no matter what, and everyone can speak to it in one way or another, even if they're not necessarily following along with the new trends. And you drive on the road, so you can be like, oh, I see that, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Have you noticed, coming from Minnesota to LA, is there a distinct difference in the way people drive? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. People are way more aggressive here.
Are they?
People, and when I go back and I drive in Minnesota, it's almost like I'm used to like the pace of driving in LA, so it's like I go crazy because it's like you are so slow.
Yeah.
Like you turn slow, you get ready you switch lanes so slow. Everybody's so slow and super defensive driving. But here it's just like people will get as close as they can and get there as quick as they can. It's just very in your face.
Yeah, people can certainly be aggressive. I must have gotten used to it because I know I was very worried the first time coming to drive in LA when I took a trip down from Santa Barbara to like see my dad. It was like the first time that I was ever driving myself solo rather than my mom driving me down. And I remember I was like a little bit worried about driving in LA knowing how aggressive people can be. At this point though, it's kind of like second nature and I don't think much of it.
I think the difference for me too, besides like the general way people drive, is also the like just size of the streets. Because Minnesota, it's like
really wide,
not super compact. Yeah, you have all the space in the world, and here it's like sometimes you gotta have to pull over to let somebody through and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, straight up to my house is very narrow. And I had a guy the other day who was just, it's in the 3 years I've lived there, it's never happened this badly. Dude is just straight up driving on the wrong side of the road, like he forgot he wasn't in the UK, and he was basically, it looked like he was playing chicken with me.
Oh God.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I'm hitting the brakes, I swerved over.
Don't be a chicken.
And I'm just like, for the love of God, please notice that you are not driving on the right side of the road. Oh my God. And lo and behold, fortunately, he swerved away at the last minute, but it was a swerve. It was a swerve,
like
that's for sure.
an actual swerve, like.
Oh yeah, he pivoted at the last second. I was like, Jesus Christ, butt clenching.
But maybe you should learn something from that.
Here, we're gonna merge in. Maybe you'll get the nice view of this Bentley here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see the 570 that's behind, but we're in a convoy with quite a few nice little vehicles here.
Hopefully some will come up.
That's a little side thing. Anyway, also, when I was just on a little Sunday cruise with some friends the other week in the GT, just on the freeway, waiting to meet up. Like, we all get on the freeway, so some of us are lagging a little bit behind others. I'm just going at the speed limit in the 2-lane, not the 1-lane. People can go by and pass if they want to. I'm going like 70 miles an hour. This person just comes up and starts riding on my ass, and I'm like, I don't know why you're doing this. There's a lane next to you. I'm not in the passing lane holding up traffic here. And so 10 seconds later, they go around me, honk, and flip me off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm like, okay. So I have no idea what happened, but you're angry at something, and I'm sorry about that. So that can be LA.
LA is kind of a strange place.
It is. But fortunately, you haven't gotten in any accidents since you've been here, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Perfect.
I don't know what that means, not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Maybe while I was unconscious, just
occasionally you fall
driving.
asleep at the wheel.
I walk to my car, and then I start it up, and then I go to Taco Bell.
It's like that scene out of Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh my God, like crawling on the ground.
Well, it's like where he gets home and he thinks everything is
Everything
great.
was perfect, but it was just a complete mess. No, don't do that. Get an Uber, everybody at home. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, do not drunk drive.
Get an Uber. Or don't prescription drug and drive, or don't any drug. Oh!
We good.
There's a very close shot of the back of a Lamborghini. There you go.
Yeah, we got a Huracan. I just wanted to get you guys nice and up close
that's what it's for.
With the Huracan Spider.
I'm not used to a car that can brake.
Yeah, that's what you were
speed.
commenting about this.
Well,
like, oh my God, the brakes are
fast,
so good.
the acceleration is it's just very fast, and it brakes very quickly too. It's just very different from a Honda Fit, which makes sense.
It would make sense. I would hope that it's different than a Honda Fit because it's a little bit more expensive, but the Honda Fit gets you from point A to point B as you would expect for it.
The kind of car that I want. Mm-hmm. It's the only thing I really desire.
And for most people, that is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I have actually been doing some thinking about my daily and wanting to bring that to be a more interesting slot in the garage that I can make content off of.
In what way?
In the way of the C63, it's great, but I feel like if you're going to do the whole process of specking out a car from the factory and doing the whole making videos of that, it should be a little bit more exciting than the C63. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Great car.
But I was almost thinking of going into the Porsche Club. We'll see. I mean, this is a ways away because we have the 600 LT going, and I probably want to just keep it to one at a time. But sorry, I'm getting super sidetracked.
No,
and just going over my channel plans.
This is a podcast,
which I suppose sort of impact you in a way. So I'm sharing
somewhat
future plans for the channel for you to consider.
This is more of a business meeting than anything.
That's what it'll turn into, is us just discussing strategy for video content.
Next quarter, we want $1 billion in sales.
1 billion?
Yes.
That'd be great. Dude, can you imagine how much cool car stuff I could do with $1 billion?
That's a lot of car stuff.
Hey, if any investors out there have $1 billion and want to value what I do at I don't know, 100 billion, you can buy 1% at $1 billion.
This sounds like a great deal to me.
I don't know. Any and all investors out there, I think that it's a pretty fabulous opportunity, and you can hit me up if you would like to and are interested in that sort of thing. This is a pitch out there to everyone.
Jeff Bezos, if you're listening.
Yeah, dude, we know you like Twitch, so...
That's kind of what I was referencing.
I am Twitch.
Because the Twitch thing, they had a recent thing where they are aiming to hit $1 billion in ad sales.
Oh, I did see that, actually. You're right. That is a thing. Right, and that's why they did the whole Twitch Prime
removing
no more
ads
universal
free
ad
with Twitch
free.
Prime.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
That is a very hot topic. So I can understand. Yeah, I think a lot of people were angry.
Okay.
But I think there's also a lot of reasons why they would do it from a business perspective.
I just don't know the metrics as to like how many people use Twitch Prime, how significant.
I feel like a lot of people have Twitch Prime. Like I couldn't give you a percentage or whatever, but it's a lot of people have Twitch Prime, so that's a lot of ad-free viewing.
Right.
And so there's also they have Twitch Turbo, and that gives you ad-free.
I didn't know if Twitch Turbo was canceled as a product.
No, it still
there.
exists, and it makes sense because that's like feature overlap. It's like Twitch Prime has ad-free viewing.
Right.
Twitch Turbo has ad-free viewing, so why have both of them have ad-free viewing from a business perspective? Doesn't make a lot of sense. And also, I can't get into specifics about like monetary output through Twitch.
Oh, right.
But as a recent small streamer, I could say ad revenue is not necessarily the highest.
No, ad revenue is pretty minimal in comparison to the other.
Compared to the other
there.
things that the ways that you can get revenue on Twitch as a partner or as an affiliate.
And so obviously their goal is to increase that, but I wonder if they'll have any less adoption of Twitch Prime.
Yeah. So the way it works now is if you use your Twitch Prime on that channel, you get ad-free viewing on that channel.
Oh, it still works.
So you still get ad-free viewing on the channel you use your Twitch Prime sub on. So I think that's how it should have been out the gate.
I'm surprised they did.
If it would have been like that out the gate, then obviously it wouldn't have had this issue. But I totally understand it from a business perspective. It's like, yeah, we have all these people that are just not getting ads on the entire site on any channel. They're just not getting any ads. So it's like, yeah, we want to, and we have another product that also offers free ad, or no ad experience or whatever.
Right.
So I think it makes sense from them. From a business, but I also understand from a consumer standpoint, you're literally just losing a feature that you have already had.
Yeah,
Which is not fun.
Yeah, whenever I try to do new things content-wise, I always try, and it's tough because you have a finite amount of hours in the day. It's very tough to add something to the slate without taking away somewhere else. But I always try when I'm gonna bring in some new type of content to not eat into something that I know people like. Because I like to try new things, but I also don't want to make people upset. And so it's easy to accidentally like open the floodgates too much in the beginning, and then it's never fun when you have to scale back. Mm-hmm. Like on YouTube with the whole partner program, how initially they were like super, super strict with allowing people to monetize on YouTube. Like I didn't even think I was ever going to be able to monetize. I was like, what's this? Monetizing on YouTube? Mm-hmm. You can't do it with gaming. Why? I just want to show off my gameplay. It started to open up more and more as time went by, to the extent where it just became, hey, if you upload a video to YouTube, you can enable monetization as long as your account is in good standing. And then they're like, oh, wait,
we need to rewind that a little bit.
Way too relaxed, and that's why they implemented these new requirements. I don't know if it's new. It's like 6 months ago now, probably. But everyone who was kind of teetering on the edge or who was monetizing and didn't meet the requirements was then upset because they had their monetization revoked.
Fun fact. Not monetized.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've posted one video in a year, so.
But you didn't hit the criteria.
No, it's, what is it, 4,000 minutes watched or something?
Hours. Yeah.
And like a certain amount of, I'm at like the subscriber threshold or whatever, but I'm not at the minutes watched, I think.
Because subscriber is just a flat number. As long as you're beyond that, you're cool.
It is.
So it's the minutes watched, really?
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so upset. I'm very upset.
I can tell, dude. You wanted YouTube to work for you as a viable career platform. And
it's not that I didn't want that, but I don't know. I have no problem helping somebody else.
I'm actually, if we can get deep here.
Oh, yeah?
Let's get curious, because a long, long while back, before I had brought you on as an editor, like myself and Adam and Mark, we had all, gone to dinner, and we had told you in the past, like, hey, you should... if you ever want to actually try your hand at the YouTube thing, we'll support you and try to help you be able to create content and all that. And obviously, you never really went for it. And I'm curious, sort of what your reasoning. I mean, I sort of knew your reasoning, but just there's obviously a lot of people view the YouTube thing as very, very glamorous, and why wouldn't someone want to do it? But obviously you made the decision that it wasn't really something you wanted to do.
I mean, well, pre-working for you is a different thing as far as like after, because it's like, for me, it's like when I'm done, if I've been editing during the day, it's like I don't necessarily want to be editing at night. And that's after starting working for you, obviously. Before I was working for you, I made a little bit of money. It was like a little side gig thing that I had, which was always nice, but it was more for fun than anything. Which, I mean, it should always be for fun to some degree, especially when you're starting out. Definitely don't start YouTube or Twitch or anything like that and be like, I want to make a living right out the gate.
There is a very, very low, it's like hitting the lottery at this point.
Yeah,
you see a lot of people who make it big, but out of all the people trying, it's a very small percentage.
Yeah, and you need to be doing it like consistently, and you need to be doing it, you're going to be doing it for like a year, maybe 2 years. You have to be thinking long term if you want to make it a job or something that you're going to have substantial
But please,
money
please,
from.
please do not quit your current job if you have one prior to it working for you. Anyway, but I digress.
But yeah, after I started working for you, it was like, do I really want to be editing a video? And then there was also a long period of time where I just didn't like video games, frankly.
Yeah.
There was like a 2, almost 3 year period where I did not play video games in my free time. I would have thought, I would think about video games and I'd be like, video games is just they're just not for me anymore. Like I became in a very pessimistic mindset towards video games.
Was there any particular thing? Was it the climate, microtransactions?
It was like a lot of things like that. Yeah, it's like AAA games, and all those issues still exist in the gaming industry. There's just really bad business practices and everything.
This person is using their brakes way too much for my taste.
Video games, it's just like I play a new game and it feels like a game that I've already played before, so it's not like keeping my interest. And I don't know, but I've recently kind of swung back into it, treating it more lightheartedly, less with a critical eye. I think I was even outside of video games too. During that time I was very critical of media on like an obnoxious level, almost like nitpicky. Like where
and in retrospect,
you consume everything, and you're just like, I don't like anything. Maybe it was, maybe I was
maybe
very
you're the one who
depressed.
was a little too jaded.
Yeah, there was a lot of factors, bad mental state. I don't know. But I think nowadays, as far as like me doing YouTube, I think I'm still at that point where it's like, do I really want to be sitting down and going through footage and editing it down in my free time? Not necessarily, but I can do Twitch because that's like I have to still spend the 2 hours or whatever I'm spending streaming,
right? And
that's time out of my day, obviously. But I mean, there's no after the fact where
there's instant feedback and it's out there, and I get that appeal.
It's more of like an improv thing, if anything.
Yeah.
There's less stakes, I think, because like when you're presenting something that's edited, there's an assumed level of polish. Yes.
Yeah.
Just another. I think YouTube is a little. I don't know how to phrase this without making Twitch streamers angry at me, but I think YouTube is a little harder. That might be controversial to say.
Well,
but they're both difficult. They're both difficult in different ways. Like the way you get drained after like streaming for a long time is like, I totally understand that, and the stress of like keeping up with your chat constantly and all those different things.
I will say the barrier to entry of making a full-time living is much lower as a streamer than it is on YouTube, and I think that's why more people gravitate towards it as a career-driven thing. That's why a lot more people will make this effort to, like, once they achieve 30 concurrent viewers, they'll be like, all right, it's time to quit my job and I'm going to pursue this full-time, which on YouTube you don't often see someone, and I just had to I had a little gas again. No. Sorry about that. On YouTube, you very rarely see someone who's getting like 1,000 or 2,000 views a video, posting once or twice a week, saying, all right, this is now my full-time thing. So I think the reason why is because with direct donations that you can do on Twitch, it's just the barrier. God damn it, I can't have a serious conversation.
You did this to yourself.
I know. It allows it so that with a much smaller audience base on Twitch, you're able to
start making money.
Make it a reasonable living off of. I'm sure there are some people out there who probably get 100 concurrent viewers, and that's their job.
Oh yeah, that totally exists. I think that's also the great thing about Twitch is if you have a really loyal audience and people that are constantly coming back and people that are subscribed and like subscribe, like resubscribing and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, that can be totally viable for you even if you're still fit in the category of like a small streamer or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, say 100 concurrent viewers translates to maybe you have an active user base of 2,000 people, and if you, on average, each month have 2,000 people support you with $5, and that's an average. A lot of people aren't going to give anything.
Yeah.
You're going to have whales who give a ton of money.
Yes.
And if it averages out to $5, then you're at $10,000 a month right there. So that's why I think streaming is much more accessible, because YouTube doesn't have the direct transactions that people are very used to when it comes to Twitch. And YouTube does have streaming, and they do have the super chat feature, but it's something that's much less widely utilized, I think, and much less widely viewed as like, oh, I'm going to do this as a normal thing. It's like there's still a barrier with people. It hasn't gone mainstream enough to where people are like viewing it that way. But I might be wrong. YouTube's, I'm sure they have their metrics, and maybe they completely negate what I just said. But it feels like donating on Twitch is like, that's something most people are familiar with, that idea.
Yeah, there's not necessarily, as far as like on the VOD section of YouTube, there's not really anything similar to that. But yeah, I guess back to what was the origin of the question, why I didn't pursue YouTube, I guess. I think also, and one of the smaller reasons is that I don't necessarily think of myself as like putting myself in a spotlight. I'm much more comfortable being like a supporting character, like somebody that can maybe come in and just say a joke and then let the person, like the main focus of the video or whatever, come back in.
Do you play support heroes in Dota and League?
Yes, I'm a great. I can't even think of one.
Which one are you aiming for? Because I can't identify any in League, only in Dota.
Dota. What would be a good one?
Pugna, Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, there you go. Any of the above.
Anything? What?
Any of the above.
Okay, gotcha.
Maybe throw off the metal a little bit. Go Leshrac bottom. Really throw things off.
Leshrac isn't really necessarily a support. Immediately, everyone has tuned out.
You can go top. You can go top lane Lesh.
Immediately, everyone has tuned out here. Like,
no, come on. Dota isn't that serious, you guys. You can go Lesh bottom. Have a fun time. Throw your opponent off. Be like, what is this, Lesh bottom?
I watched a couple matches of the International before we headed off here.
I forgot that it's about that time.
It is that time.
Yeah.
It's happening right now as we speak. The grand
I'm out
final,
of the game.
The grand final is going to be while we're at Pebble, though, so we're going to miss out.
Isn't this International the biggest prize pool ever? I think I saw a headline about that, but I don't know how big it is.
God, what is it? I'm forgetting. But yeah, it's like
probably pretty massive. Dota's still going strong.
Dota is still going very strong.
Don't play the game anymore. Don't really watch it anymore. But I really love the fact that it's still going. People are still into it.
I haven't played a match of Dota in probably a couple of years. It's
about the MOBA
while.
game. Sorry, I forget, Dota style game. Don't say MOBA. MOBA is a word created by League of Legends.
True. Yeah.
And Dota players don't like that.
I mean, Dota is the original term.
Yes. I mean, trust me. I have gone on Warcraft 3 while I was a teenager, gone into a Dota custom game, gotten yelled at. That was my experience with Dota before Dota 2 came out. Was like getting into. I probably gotten to Dota lobbies less than 5 times.
Yeah.
And the experience was just so awful that that kept me away. So I just went back to playing, Gem TD, Winter Mall.
I actually don't know what any of those things are. I never
tower defense custom games on Warcraft 3. That was my jam.
I've never done any of the Warcraft games at all.
There are 10 people out there that know what I'm talking about, and that's it.
People are getting a lot back into Warcraft now that they have this. What is it? Vanilla WoW or something like that?
Yeah. The new WoW expansion came out. Yeah, but that's not Warcraft 3. That's World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but isn't it? It's called Vanilla WoW, right?
I think so. Is that out yet? I don't even actually know. I think the expansion came out. I don't know if Vanilla WoW's out.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I've just heard a lot more people talking about it recently, and oh man, dude, I'm getting back into World of Warcraft. I see people tweeting about it who I follow. I don't know if that's a thing.
When World of Warcraft came out, 2004, I think.
I don't know.
I think it was the first expansion came around, and I wanted to try it because all my friends had been playing it. I was maybe 8th grade, maybe 7th, 8th grade. Had never played an MMO before, didn't understand what was going on. Just kept wandering out and getting killed by alligators. My character's name was Gert.
Okay, where'd you get that name from?
I don't know. I was like, I wanted to have a name that maybe sounded like it could exist in the universe.
Okay.
I was a human warlock named Gert. Try adding me, everybody. I don't know if that's how that works, if your character stays alive.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's all I got about World of Warcraft.
You came here for cars, you got World of Warcraft, boys.
I'm all about Guild Wars 1. Where my Guild Wars 1 boys at?
Didn't play that.
Great game.
We got a new Vantage next to us right now. It's looking pretty sweet.
It is a car.
We're also at the front of the pack right now, dude. There's the Popo up here escorting. We have a police escort,
We do have a police escort.
which has been pretty cool. I was wondering earlier if they like practice their signal escorting thing to where they have like this daisy chain of one officer blocking the light, and then the others go forward, block the next light, then the one behind
I'm sure they've gone over it before.
Like they have practice exercises for that.
They have to have.
But it was pretty cool. I was just thinking though, and I shared this with you, just people who are getting held up on their morning commute by an officer blocking traffic for a whole group of supercars must just hate us so much.
Yeah, I would be in that group of people if I was not in this car. If I saw that, I would be like, who are these douches? Where are they going?
At least we weren't breaking laws. At least it was legally executed.
It was
right?
legally executed, so they can't really complain. Or take it up with the law if you got a problem.
Take it up with the police officer. Yell at the police officer. That's sure to go real well for you.
No, it won't.
It won't. Do not do that. Probably not the best idea. So what do we have in front of us? Just because I don't know if it'll be in view small enough for the camera to see, but we are behind a McLaren 720 in a beautiful blue that almost looks like my matte chrome wrap, except it's paint job. There's a Huracan Performante in white over to the left. There's a Porsche GT3 in gray with some blue stripes on it. And then I think beyond that, there is a McLaren 570 coming up on our left. We've got the new Vantage, silver. There's an older Porsche Turbo coming up behind us, and then a McLaren. We got a why am I blanking on things? MP4 with a Gulf wrap, which is actually super cool. So
I have no idea what any of that is, but any of the things you just said?
You've looked at them. You just don't know what they are.
Yes, I can recognize sometimes whoever makes the car. Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah.
I just know I like they look nice. They're beautiful cars.
Of the ones that you have seen today, is there anyone that like stands out to you?
I'm trying to think of all the ones that we saw. I don't know. Honestly, I like this one.
Also, there was a Chiron that just appeared for a moment earlier today.
It's pronounced Sharon.
There was a Sharon, a Bugatti Sharon.
Bugatti Sharon.
And it appeared for a second earlier today when we were all stopped after the crash happened. Don't know where it went. It might have been completely unaffiliated with our rally, and it's just a random Bugatti Chiron.
Hey, look at all these nice cars. Those are my people. I'll follow.
The tractors, yeah, dude. I don't like being behind big trucks because they always spray out dirt and gravel, which was happening back there. Anyway,
can we note that 2 times today I've been hit in the side of the head with debris while the windows were down? I don't know. That doesn't happen very often, but the windows were down and a rock came in and just hit me in the side of the neck, and then something else came over and hit me in the back of the head somehow.
You reacted pretty violently.
The rock one scared the shiza out of me. I thought I was getting shot with some little kid on the side of the road with a BB gun.
Shooting the
pellets at me.
Yeah, that would suck. Oh my god. That would be no good. Anyway, yeah, just random Chiron. How does that even happen? Maybe they were on the way to Pebble and they just were stopping at a winery as well or something like that, but when do you run into just a random Bugatti? A Chiron, no less. You see a Veyron every now and again.
See, I didn't even see it.
That's because you were
I don't have the eye
looking
for
forward, and it was way at the back. It was kind of peeking around, I guess, being like, "Why is everybody stopped? What the hell?"
I just don't have the eye for the cars. Like I can recognize a nice looking car, but I don't like the step ups between like a fancy car and like an insanely expensive car. It's like, it all looks kind
Like
of the
the
same.
area between 300,000 and 4 million is a little gray for you.
Yeah, I mean even maybe 100,000 plus in that. Like,
I can't think of too many $100,000 cars that you would.
How
look
much was
at
the
and go,
i8?
The i8 is like 130.
I mean, I think the i8 looks like a really expensive car to me.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like if you took off the logo and just like put that car in front of me and I didn't know what it was before, I would put it in the same category as like a Lambo or this.
Really?
Just from a visual perspective.
That is surprising to me because the i8 to me, when I first saw it unveiled, I thought it was going to be like a $40,000, $50,000 car.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they look nice, but I'm also not into cars.
I'm not hugely into it.
I also like the i3.
You're incorrect.
I don't know. I mean, I like small cars like that. I think it looks kind of cute. It's a cute little car.
The i3, you're incorrect, but that's fine. It happens, dude. Dude, this guy Ardo.
I like the black and the white and the blue thing that they got going on with the i3.
I just want to say, this guy Ardo coming up on us.
Which one?
Maybe this one over.
Oh,
on
the blue and orange.
Over on the right.
I like that one.
The
too.
yellow one. That was the one that was just bonkers loud.
Oh
and
yeah, that one was.
I wish it would have done a poll, because they totally know that we're doing a podcast, and that'd be great. But that thing, oh my God, it's loud.
I like this car that's going to come up on our right here.
That's the MP4 in the Gulf wrap.
Yes, I like the colors on it. I don't know if I necessarily like the pattern, but I do like the colors.
It's pretty cool. I would be inclined to agree with you.
Is the pattern the Gulf, or is it the colors?
Yeah, it's Gulf livery, so it's based off of the race cars that the Gulf sponsored way back. And so there was an 05 Ford GT with a Heritage Gulf scheme on it that you could get, and I assume there will also be a new Ford GT one of the following 2 years that will be available in a Gulf scheme. And all those lucky
it's almost
people,
there. It's right. Okay, you should probably maybe see it now. Right
may
there.
be able to. I'm hoping that most of it is visible, because this is a pretty cool setting for a car podcast.
Yeah, this is, as far as like being able to see other cars around you, this is probably as good as it's going to get.
It's pretty cool.
Because normally on the car podcast, you'll point out when you see something on the road, like there's that, but it's like that happens every like 10 minutes.
In this case, we get to talk about World of Warcraft while there are a bunch of cool cars actually around.
The least qualified person to have on the podcast while you're surrounded by things that any car person, like Gareth Emery would be like, that's a that. I'm sorry, wait, isn't he British? He'd be like, that's a that. I'm sorry, that was the worst. Gareth Emery.
Gareth, sorry about that if you watch this.
Gareth, I saw you at EDC 2014. I love you. Concrete Angel.
Did he drop Concrete Angel in the set?
He did. You gotta drop Concrete Angel at EDC.
I suppose you do,
It's main stage. You're not gonna drop not Concrete Angel.
You're just gonna do it on loop for like an hour.
Just over and over. Just doing the intro mix into the outro mix, just the same song over. That would be a sick set, honestly.
Has anyone ever actually done the same song more than once in a set?
Probably. I have to imagine.
Have you ever witnessed it though?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember. I feel like I've probably heard like an original and then somebody played a remix of that song.
Okay.
But I don't know about the same exact song. That's another area that
weird.
Speaking of Gareth Emery, I mean, I've been to a rave or two in my days.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well,
but,
I mean, music. I've done some producing. You're primarily in the mixing side, right?
Yeah, I mean, I DJ for fun.
But that is
something to do.
You've actually touched turntables at least, whereas I have not.
Yeah. Well, not like CDJs, but
right.
Little controllers, little baby tractor S4.
But I have never actually touched any sort of mixers whatsoever. So I have no idea how it works.
I don't know why, because I've messed around with production software a little bit, but I find DJing very fun. It's a way of interacting with listening to music that you like in interesting ways. It's like, oh, maybe this song can go with this song, or
what are the things that you have to consider when you're mixing?
Key, BPM, that's mostly it.
Okay.
And then you can go from there. And then outside of like those very basic things, I would say like the tone of the song, like the kind of vibe that it gives off, and because you don't want to go into like some like EDM house banger thing into like emo guy thing.
It's mostly just intuition.
Even though I have a mix on my SoundCloud where I've gone from like a hip hop song into a just an emo guy song.
Just like purposefully making it as wild a transition as you possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, I think that reflects my personal taste in music. I like hip hop. I like house music. I like whiny emo music. Why not fit them all in there?
Fair enough.
Maybe it won't gel very well.
I basically only listen to trance other than the stuff that goes up on Merit Music, which I do listen to when I'm at the gym. I will queue up the Merit Music playlist quite often. And
Goin certified.
Hey, guess what? That's a popo who ain't pulling us over. That's an escort. In case
What's up with the blue lights or the purple lights?
I have no idea, dude. They're trying to match the Ferrari that's behind us. Very purple.
I think that makes sense.
Very purple indeed. It's
Cops
nice.
just have RGB lights on their motorcycles now.
You could put it on a rainbow cycle if you wanted to.
It's like a keyboard.
So I'm curious, is there any manufacturer, any car they could release that you would be excited about?
I don't think on like a level where I would be like, I have to buy that. Because like my idea with my car that I have right now is I'm going to ride that thing till it dies.
Is there a level of self-driving where you would be like,
that might be it. That might be it. Like,
Uh-huh.
But even then, I think I would probably still keep the Fit around as like a second car or whatever. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Dude.
It depends. If
Balling
I'm at a point in
out
my
on the
life,
double.
if I'm at a point in my life where I have a house maybe with like a driveway.
Uh-huh.
If I'm living in an apartment still and I only have one spot that I can keep a car in, obviously it's going to leave eventually. But once automated driving is like the standard, then yeah, I will upgrade at some point. Yeah, I don't know, like Model 3-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
Something just standard, baseline,
Whatever
not
will
expensive.
hopefully take you from point A to point B without killing you.
Yeah. If I could just get like a box that has wheels, that has like a couch in it,
Yeah.
that I can just hang out on, or maybe a little desk that I can just play Fortnite at while I'm waiting to get to my destination.
I do wonder how long it will be
Where we landed, Salty?
I wonder how long it'll be until there is actually a car with a couch in it, other than a limousine. But a car where it's like the steering wheel
With the
retracts,
seat belts?
and it's like then the chair pivots and swivels back around. So
That's
you can
the
have a
ideal. Like,
conversation.
imagine how great your life would be, especially in LA.
Oh yeah.
Well, both the automation fixing traffic, plus the fact that if you just need to get anywhere, you just sit down, and you're like, okay, I'll get to do literally anything else for the next half an hour or whatever.
I mean,
That's the dream.
As it stands already, there are times when I will purposefully elect to go the slightly longer traffic-y freeway route in the Mercedes because it can do the self-driving.
Yeah. Like, it's almost worth it to stay on a freeway sometimes rather than going on a side street that might get you quicker.
I'm like, this is going to require effort.
Yeah.
Still sitting in traffic, just moving a little faster than I would have in traffic on the freeway. Or I could just not bother with it. I can zone out. Not completely, I'm still safe. But the car will take care of the majority of the work, especially if it's under 25 miles an hour. It'll do literally everything. I don't even have to provide any input to the steering wheel at all. It'll just handle it. And
That's the
I'm like,
dream.
yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. It is a bit of a trip though when you first kick it on and let go.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird to get used to.
And then we're gonna get to the point where the future generations are just like, this is normal.
Yeah.
What do you mean you existed when you had to actually turn the wheel of a car?
You had cars that you drove yourself? There was a wheel? What is a wheel? A steering wheel?
Oh, people are getting gas here. I was like, what's going on?
Haha. We probably need gas soon
your fuel
anyway.
tank didn't last as long, did it now?
Haha. This is actually a Prius.
We will
With the
probably
body
get gas
of a
at some
Ferrari.
point, but we're still good for the time being. This thing has a pretty sizable gas tank. It's not too bad. Not in comparison to the Bentley that we've got in front of us. That's a very large gas tank, but this will do the job just fine. We're at 4 out of 9 bars right now.
That's pretty good. It's been a while since we got gas.
And I've been driving manual this whole time, so when we're going on the roads that weren't just 7th gear freeway the entire time, it takes a little bit more gas.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
What's a car that you think I should be excited for on a consumer level? If you could think of anything.
See, I don't know. That's why I brought up the automation thing, because I feel like
I think that really is going to be the biggest thing.
That's the only thing that would
For someone that is like a point A to point B type
Yeah.
person, that is pretty much, that's going to be the changer. Because I mean, I do enjoy a good road trip every once in a while. I like kind of like just going on, getting that weird, like I'm on the freeway autopilot for a couple hours and I'm just hanging out, listening to my music, and that's it. There is something nice about driving. It can be very relaxing, and I understand that. And I get it from like a high-end thing, like an enthusiast, where it's like the driving experience, like the handling of the car, the speed, the performance, all of that. But it's not something that I would spend money on.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing practical or justifiable about an interest in cars, other than if you're actually able to make a business out of it, which in that case, cool.
Most hobbies, not really justifiable.
Yeah.
That's why they're hobbies.
Exactly. But in some cases, it's just you enjoy it, and you can't even necessarily explain why, but you just do.
Me with dudes. You can't explain it, but you just do.
You just do?
Just do dudes.
Just do what?
What?
Excuse me?
Did you not hear what I said?
I didn't. No.
Oh, you said, I can't even remember. You can't explain why, but you just do. And I whispered to myself, me with dudes.
Oh.
I can't explain why. You just like it, you know?
I suppose so, yeah.
Jordan is sexually attracted to cars, and I like dudes. It's just how it is. He's the kid from that, what was that TLC show where he's like under the car and like kissing it? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
No, you haven't seen that one?
I don't think so.
I feel like that's a famous one.
My Strange Addiction.
I don't know if it's from that show specifically, but he's like laying under the car and he's like kissing the bumper. He's like, mwah, mwah, mwah. He's in a relationship with his car.
That's awkward.
You've never seen like the one with the lady she's in love with the roller coaster?
No.
Oh my god! I think
did
it was
I
like
miss this?
it was one of the rides where it's like the big swing, and she's like, I love this one specifically.
But she doesn't own it. It's just out of.
No, I think she would just like show up wherever it was and be like, I love this
so
one.
Weird. What if you're the person who actually owns that? Would you file a restraining order?
I don't know. Or maybe like they finally decommissioned and she bought it. I don't remember the story exactly. It was weird.
That's very strange. But hey, you know, if that is your interest and you're not hurting anybody else, then by all means, love whatever roller coaster you want to love.
Have you ever kissed any of your cars?
I don't think so, actually.
Why not?
That's dangerous.
You went into lead.
I was like, the hat's gonna hit. This is dangerous. I don't want to do this. But maybe when we get to where we're going, just not like in the middle of the podcast.
Kissing everything in your car.
I'm sure that the car really appreciates the.
I just kissed everyone. Did you see that? I kissed everyone
really
watching.
Appreciate it.
If you're watching at this point, if you've somehow survived through all the terrible conversation about farts and World of Warcraft.
How long have we been going? Oh, nearly an hour, which is about how long these things go.
We're almost to Monterey.
We're probably about
We're like
an hour. Yeah, something like
Getting
that.
there.
We'll have to decide if we want to stop for gas and caffeine before we get there, or if we'll wait until we arrive. But anyway, all right. This has been a very legitimate car podcast in the way of the surroundings. So hopefully you've enjoyed. Thank you, Nick, for coming along, even though you were coming along for the ride regardless, and we just decided to get two birds.
Get two birds stoned at once.
Right.
Classic.
We've elected to do. It's a classic idiom. Anyway, if you guys want to watch more of these car podcasts, there is a playlist here on this channel. It'll be linked in the description. You can catch up.
If you want someone to show up on this car podcast, you should just comment.
Yeah, feel free.
That doesn't mean it'll happen, but
nope. Yeah,
recommendations never hurt.
Elon Musk. Get Elon Musk.
Hey,
I'll be like, I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Elon's coming on next week, guys. Elon.
Way to set some expectations.
It'll just be me trying to do the worst pseudo South African accent. I don't think I could nail his accent down. It would be so hard.
I don't think I could get anywhere.
He has such a subtle accent that it would be so hard to do.
I'm really bad at impersonations too, so I wouldn't even want to try.
Electricity, space. Oh, I'm Elon.
That's actually.
Oh, Grimes is my girlfriend.
Just not super good. What's Grimes?
She's a musician, and he's dating her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about his dating life.
Come on, dude. You don't go on Twitter moments?
I don't.
That's where I get all of my news.
Good for you, Elon. I hope it goes great. Well, anyway, on that note, after wishing Elon Musk well, we'll wind this thing down. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.